I completed around 300 employees of that refinery for ISO 14001 training, and they were happy. After spending more than 34-35 years in an industrial setup, and last 12-13 years as a managing director, handling lot of board meetings, ESG is not a new thing for India. And for India, we may learn from other countries.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, brought to you by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Priya George, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with someone truly extraordinary. Our guest today is Mr. Satish Panchal, an environmental engineer with over 35 years of experience. But his journey goes far beyond the technicalities of his profession. He's a man who has spent decades not just making a difference in the field of environmental sustainability, but also shaping the future of wastewater treatment and digital transformation in this space. From leading large scale projects for top companies to starting his own consultancy, Mr. Panchal has been at the forefront of driving change. But beyond the accolades and the milestones, he's a passionate advocate for innovation, a mentor, and someone who believes in the power of change to create a better world. So today, we are not just talking about work, we are diving into the values, the moments, and the mindset that have fueled his incredible journey. Mr. Panchal, it's a real honor to have you here today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Priya, and thank you for welcoming. Honor to welcome me on this FaceTime interview with the leaders organized by Director Institute, World Director Council. Thank you.
The pleasure is all ours. And without further ado, let's drive straight into the interview. Mr. Panchal, you've had an incredible journey across industries. It's a unique mix of environmental engineering, leadership, and advocacy. I'm sure it wasn't a smooth ride, but we'd love to hear from you. Looking back, what were some of the unexpected twists or moments that really shaped your career? So we'd love to hear your side of the story.
Yeah, I just brief you. I started my journey from 35 years back.
Okay.
I pass out as an environmental engineer, and at that time there is no vacancy for environmental engineer because environmental law just initiated in 74, 75, and industry was not on the same scale what today we have observed. Even the law was not so stringent today what we observe. But somehow, with the campus interview, I got an opportunity to work with the India's largest environmental consultancy that was set up by Dr. G.D. Agrawal, the first member secretary of Central Pollution Control Board. So I worked there about 3 years, and major my assignment was the environmental monitoring and environmental impact assessment. And some of the audit, my initial stage as a GET, graduate engineer training.
Right.
The first challenge was to climb a monkey ladder on 40-meter height stack to monitor the environmental quality. So as an engineer, we have to work at the 40-meter height in a monkey ladder. So that was the biggest challenge in the career time. And to work with the lot of peoples like rural communities, because I was in the mining project. So mining generally located in the remote areas. So iron ore mines, and I have to work with a lot of peoples, the wildlife people, the local community, the Bhilai steel plant, and parallelly the TISCO, the cement industry.
Yes.
So that around my career was shaped in Envirotech consultancy. After that, I returned back to Gujarat and worked with the largest biogas plant. That is an industrial biogas plant. It's not a like conventional biogas plant. It is not a gobar-based plant. It is a industrial biogas plant. And the biogas was generated from the molasses spent wash. And that molasses spent was so polluted, high temperature, around 60 to 70 degree temperature, and handling in a anaerobic digester is a very tough situation. But somehow we generate the biogas plant, and that biogas we utilize in the boiler to generate the steam. And that steam supply for the production. So it's a circular economy right now we are observing. I implemented circular economy in 1993. So after that, I worked. At that time, there was so much recognition for environmental engineering. There are two reasons. One, as a statutory pressure to appoint the environmental engineer, or company want to grow in a longer way. They think critical issues on environment. Then and there, they appoint the environmental engineer. So I returned back to Baroda and I joined with the chemical industry. But my role is totally different, not environmental engineer. I was appointed in a utility department. So I have to handle the water treatment plant, demineralized plant, and then the emission monitoring. Again, the journey, as you mentioned, it's very typical because like chemical engineer, civil engineer, electrical engineer, they have a specialized branch. Environmental engineering is special branch, but recognition comes very late.
I agree.
So then I went to soda ash plant at Saurashtra. It was a big plant, and the only thing I was involved in the technical department. So I learned a lot of things on technical, not only the environmental issue, but I can attend the hurdle meeting every day. And I learned what are the major issues. Because only one thing we have to remember at that time, production. Forget about the environment. And then after working 1.5 years, because it's a typical climate at Saurashtra for this side of people. So I returned back and I joined with the India's first old newsprint paper industry. And that paper industry set up a 25,000 meter cube per day wastewater treatment plant. And that plant was commissioned under my guidance, and we comply all the parameters. And the one innovation at that time, 1995-96, we implemented, like you observe the ad tray or shoe bots. This is made from the paper industry sludge. So that sludge we dispose at the landfill site, but somehow we made a certain innovation with the local support, and we supplied the sludge to the ad tray manufacturer or shoe bots manufacturer. So we generate the revenue. That is again a circular economy. But the turning point come in my life in 1997. I got a opportunity from one of the largest petrochemical plant in Baroda. But the plant was under the closure condition from the State Pollution Control Board. So I accepted the challenge. Why? It was closed. And there is a one condition they mentioned: the wastewater is non-biodegradable. Means this wastewater is not degradable of any system. So with the support of a lot of people, the lot of professionals, lot of experts from Germany, and we challenged the authority that wastewater is treatable, and we won the case in Supreme Court.
Wow.
And our plant was revived. That is the story of 1997-98. The management was so agree, and management supported a lot to me. They spent a lot of money on environment. 97 to 2010, I worked there. Before, in between 1 year, I went to Kuwait. But 10-year my journey, 97 to 2010, I can say 11, 12 years journey. It was a very remarkable journey. And the company was making a profit of X amount, but today they are making 5X amount profit. Not only profit, but the company are now in a very reputed company in Baroda. Company won a lot of awards, like the Golden Peacock Award, Green Tech Environmental Award during my tenure.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And then in between, there was a certain, as mentioned, the environmental engineer salary issue. So I got in from 2003. I was receiving a lot of call from the Gulf countries because they
Right.
have a refinery and petrochemical plant, and I have a
Yeah.
multiple experience of petrochemical plant. This 12 years, my journey uh, put a lot of knowledge on my head. In 2010, there was a serious issue at the Gujarat and Maharashtra, particularly for the Comprehensive Environmental Pollution Index, that's called a SAPI.
Yeah.
The CP is implemented by the Ministry of Forest and Environment and Central Pollution Control Board. And
Mm.
most of the central common effluent treatment plant was caught red-handed. They was violated most of the norms. At that time, I got an opportunity from the Gujarat government initiated and PSU funded one project in
Mm.
Vadodara. That is
Mm.
a effluent channel project limited at that time. And after a 6 month discussion with the IS officer and government, I accepted that proposal and I joined in 2010 as an environment as a CEO, Chief Executive Officer. But when I joined, it was a very horrible situation. Entire staff were demoralized, complete non-compliance on environmental parameter, lot of issues, no finance in the company, and I accepted the proposal. So within 3 days, I was realized, I think on my mind, so I made a mistake. But some of my mentor has guided me, be patient and revive one by one. And within 10 days, there was a first meeting organized by the IS officer. And I presented what I want to do, what the situation, and what is my plan of action for next 5 to 7 years. And then they appreciated. And immediately we taken a lot of action. We transfer a lot of people here and there. We penalize the industry, those who are not complying. And one by one, we take the step. The major step we achieved in 2012 itself. The industry just put a dedicated, industry has to put a dedicated flow meter to measure the quantity of how much water they use, how much wastewater they discharge. But generally they use that ordinary flow meter, just like we use in our home. Even the PSU also. So we made a very compulsory. We want a complete ultrasonic flow meter and electromagnetic flow meter connected to my server. And every 300 industry, we can see how much water they discharge, how much water they consume. So that is the first achievement. And we recover 3 crore rupees in a year. Those are pending. They are not, they are taking the advantage of the non observation from our side. So this is the 2012-13, and we took the help of one Belgian-based company for a complete software. Like today we are talking AI. We implemented all the documentation, how much the water generated per day. We prepare everything, draft and other thing, and submitted to the authority. So that was the first achievement. Second, now quantity we got. There was the quality. Because quality of wastewater was highly challenging. No one was treating 100%. So we put a real-time online monitoring system that I had visited one of the system implemented in New Delhi in the Yamuna River and some of the other plant along with my technical committee of director. And then we installed a real-time monitoring system and simultaneously we put a SCADA system. So all 300 industry can see how much water generated, how much wastewater discharged, what are the quality, and if quality not meet as per the statutory norms, it returned back, and at that time sample also taken. So we achieve a lot of that is a SCADA system we implemented until it is working in that organization.
Excellent.
And the last point we done a drone survey. Now, the surveillance is very important because we have a 56-kilometer long canal. So, to every day to depute a person, every day we require 3-4 vehicles, and road was condition was not so good as like other roads. So we decided to have a drone plane survey. So I invited one of the expert agency from Mumbai, They given a demo in 2015, but at
Right.
that time, drone was not allowed for a commercial use. So we were not able to 100% implemented that project. But parallelly, we install 100 cameras, including the PTZ camera. So we can see what are going wrong if someone take the advantage to dispose untreated wastewater through tanker. So that is the biggest achievement. And now the company is running in a very well. So when I joined, 30 lakhs rupees was there. When I superannuated, I had given a 20 crore rupees fixed deposit to that organization.
Excellent.
So this is
And
about my, I can say, 35 years journey, different industry, different perspective.
And it's truly fascinating to hear about those turning points in your career, Mr. Panchal. And it's clear that every step, no matter how challenging, shaped who you are today. Moving on, Mr. Panchal, managing environmental systems at one of the world's largest refineries, like the Kuwait National Petroleum Company, must have come with its own unique set of challenges, considering that it is such a large operation. I'm curious, how did you approach this immense responsibility? And what would you say were the most significant lesson that you took away from that experience?
Yeah, as I mentioned, from 2003 onward, I got a call from some of the recruitment agency, those who are particularly dealing with the petrochemical plants and refinery. Even I also got an offer from Saudi Arabia and Qatar Petroleum.
Hmm.
But I was a little bit confused because what we heard that there is a lot of restriction to the women's and other thing.
Correct.
So initially, I was not made my mind to accept the proposal or not. But one of my mentor, he is also retired from the Central Pollution Control Board, Mr. P.R. Gare Khan. He suggested me, Mr. Panchal, you accept the proposal and let us see what other people are doing. Not in India, what other people are doing. So TNPC offer I accepted 2004 end, and I went to Kuwait. For my first impression was so amazing because it was, we just imagined it's a desert, but Kuwait is not a desert. There's a lot of greeneries are there and a lot
Yes.
of systems that develop. And surprisingly, the system developed by the Indians, not Kuwaitis. The system they developed by the Indian people. So there are a lot of Indians. So my boss was a younger lady. She
Okay.
was half than my age when I joined. Then I report to that lady. Now
Hmm.
she is the CEO at the TNPC.
Okay.
So my first meeting, she discussed with me, Mr. Panchal, how you can support the TNPC for overall environmental management, because the Kuwait is entirely at that time handled by the US, and the
Right.
EPA and other activity like Environmental Protection Agency Act they follows. So I discussed with my boss and I explained that first of all I have to understand what are the issues, and then one by one I can give a solution. So the lady has given me a 3-4 volume of literature and says you just go through it, read it your home, and give me your views on after 3-4 days. And that was the revamping of wastewater treatment plant. The report
Hmm.
prepared by Engineers India Limited, our own company in India. So they prepared a 4 volume that is a revamping, and that cost is around 65 crore rupees at that time.
Okay.
So I had gone through, because as my experience on the same area, so I have gone through the important chapters and suggested, madam, this is a suggestion, and we can move as if everybody on the same platform. Then immediately lady says, Mr. Panchal, you have another report to read it. That is a Fleur Daniel Company's report, US. Same report, only the letter and header has been changed. Same technical
Okay.
word, same pages, everything is same. But the
Interesting.
cost is 650 crore rupees.
Wow.
And I make a comparison, madam, this is a 68 crore rupees, this is a 650 crore rupees. Then my boss says, Mr. Panchal, why you are here? You are here to earn the money. So think about the money and forget about to whom order goes. But I got the information that the order goes to Floridania. It's an American company. So, so technicality is very difficult in that country. But the second project they've given me is to train the Kuwaiti employees for ISO 14001. Now you just imagine Kuwaitis people, English are very poor. Even they want to learn Hindi from me. So they don't want to understand the English language. But somehow it was a very, very cohesive relationship. I completed around 300 employees of that refinery for ISO 14001 training. And they were happy. They learned Hindi also.
Excellent.
I also learned some Kuwaiti word also.
Excellent.
And the third project they given me is the remediation of contaminated land site. Because in the Kuwait refinery is the very oldest refinery. In 1964, before my birth, but it was commissioned the plant. And it was a mixture of American, German, and other multinational. So a lot of Europeans, a lot of Americans are working, and they are very, very cooperative. Everything is very cooperative. So remediation plan we understand, and we are a complete set. So there should not be the contaminated air goes to our any part of the body, and we visited the site along with the Americans. Around 3-4 hours, 3 to 4 times we visited the site, and there's a lot of discussion, deliberation, and we prepare a report. And ultimately, it was decided the contaminated sand or contaminated soil has to be incinerated in some part of the world. So Germany was the selected because Germans are very master in engineering. So they have an excellent incinerator in that country. I think in Leverkusen. So entire sand has been shipped from Kuwait to Leverkusen. So that was started during my period. Apart from that, the 3 more assignments they have given me to identify the hazardous waste storage unit. Because in refinery, there was everyday firing happen. Because they handle the crude oil and there is a flammable material. So I had visited the entire location. It's a 21-kilometer area, the refinery. So we visited certain area and we decided to have a 3-4 area. There is a dedicated hazardous waste storage area. So that we have suggested to the engineering team. Second one thing they have given me environmental audit of petrol station. Now, in our country, there is a petrol pump is a private petrol pump. In Kuwait, all petrol pumps are government petrol pumps. So that is a KNPC petrol pump. So they comply the environmental law or not. And the Kuwaiti people's like new car every year. So after 1 year, they dispose the old car. And the car is like just a new model. So every 3 days, they wash out. So car washing facility generate lot of wastewater. Where that water where goes? That is a question. So they install a system at dedicated petrol pump. How they treat the contaminated wastewater. So that I have to audit it. This thing is very important, and I interact with a lot of Kuwaiti people, a lot of other countries people, and they are so supportive. Why I not continue with the Kuwait? There is only one problem: is the primary education of my daughter. The education is not as light in our country. There is no education. I can say even Kuwaiti people send their children outside the country, like Germany, US, and other country. So at that time, my daughter was in 3 and 4 standard. So I visited so many schools, and they say 1 year you have to take it back for both the daughter. So I decided not to compromise the education. So I returned back to the same company, the petrochemical plant I left from the Vadodara. So this is about the Kuwait.
Okay, right. And Mr. Panchal, thank you for that response and sharing those experiences. And after such a successful and fulfilling career in industrial roles, you took a bold step and founded SATSANG ENVIRO ADVISOR. What inspired you to make that leap? And in what way does your consultancy stand out and bring a new perspective to the environmental sector? We would love for you to share that with us.
Yeah, so after spending more than 34, 35 years in an industrial setup, and last 12, 13 years as a managing director, handling lot of board meeting, lot of AGMs, lot of technical committee meeting, and interacting with the 300 industrialists in my area and lot of villagers, because they are the first affected by the industrial setup. And ultimately the government authorities, the IS officer and state pollution control board and ministry people. So I get a lot of confidence. If someone can do this thing, I'm doing all this thing my own. So that encouraged me. And some of my mentor also suggested, what do you do after your superannuation? Okay, I have some habit to reading, listen the music, but this will not take full day. So they say, why you should not utilize your time in some constructive and societal work? So after thinking 2, 3 months, after discussing with my mentors, my friends, and I decided let us have some sort of a advisory firm. But this advisory firm, independent consultancy, is only for the ethical practice. No liaison with any authority. So whenever I got a call from any industry, we need your advice or we need your support. First question they asked me, are you able to liaise with the authority? So I clearly mentioned I will give a technical inputs. You can go there and you liaise. I'm not going to liaise with any authority.
Got it.
So
understood.
That encouraged me to have a lot of confidence. And immediately I got 2 projects also. One is the recycling of treated wastewater to advise them that I had completed. And another project, not from India, from the abroad, through my friend consultant, that is a HAZOP study of sewage treatment plant of Thames River, London. So that we completed. These 2 projects I have completed. And right now I am also taking the assignment to a PhD student to guide them for their thesis on wastewater treatment plant. So these are the activity, and definitely I am moving once the new assignment available.
It's truly inspiring to hear how your experiences have shaped the foundation of SATSANG ENVIRO ADVISOR, Mr. Panchal. Moving on, digitalization and automation are clearly transforming industries across the board. And when it comes to environmental protection, especially in wastewater treatment, their impact is even more profound. As someone, Mr. Panchal, who advocates for the integration of AI into wastewater treatment, how do you see these technological advancements, particularly AI, revolutionizing the sector over the next decade?
Very important point. The AI, digitization, automation, I am discussing since 1998, not today. And most of the industry, I'm talking across the world, most of the industry, they have their entire operation on DCS in a common control room, one dashboard. They see their entire activities, how much chemical has to be added, how much batch has been removed, what time the batch cleaning, everything. Entire operation, even in Kuwait also, entire operation on dashboard. But environmental system, no one has incorporated in the dashboard. So that in my previous organization, I had incorporated the flow meter, real-time monitoring system, auto sampler, as well as IoT VAR. And this connected in SCADA, and this SCADA platform available on a screen, and it generates the report. What AI report is generated right now, all the graphical presentation and all the Excel data sheet, complete report has been generated through a one click. So that we have incorporated from 2015 onward. Now industry has been forced by the government also to have a dashboard, and automatically 1 week report, 10 days report, 15 days report automatically generated by the AI report, AI data. Because ultimately Excel sheet it's very difficult. Even now, the presentation also be ready within 10 minutes. What is the presentation of XYZ industry for the environmental performance? That cover air, water, hazardous waste, accident, any happens, or any leakages. Everything in a 10 minutes, any authority can be generated. So AI is very important. I had already implemented. I am also now advocating the industry go for AI rather than, but it not in the cost of the not recruiting the people. You recruit environmental
Makes
engineers,
sense.
you recruit environmental chemists. Even in my previous organization, two major assignment we have achieved, that is ISO 14001. It's a complete
Mm.
mash. We made a system in a very SOP prepared for all the activities. And secondly, we got a NABL certificate for our laboratory. And that laboratory generate millions of data. That data we have put in a spatial format. Now we'll labeled as AI, but we made in a spatial format. And with the help of AI, we generate whatever the report we want. So I strongly advocating AI, environmental management, even the camera also. You can make a camera and drone activity. Now, some government in India, they already started to verify the scenario of forest to drone. And they collected the data, what are the height of the trees and what are the area covered by the trees, in which area they high density, low density, reserve forest, dense forest. They already started. So government level, they already started. Private industry, the top industry, they already initiated all the data, particularly environmental management.
Right. And the role of AI really seems pivotal in transforming the way we approach environmental protection. Thank you for sharing that with us. You've consistently emphasized the importance of ethical environmental management. From your experience, how do you believe that adhering to ethical practices in environmental engineering not only benefits the planet, but also drives business success and strengthens a company's reputation? You have talked about it a little bit in your earlier response, but we'd love to hear more from you.
Yeah, as I mentioned, in 1997, I got an opportunity to work with just a closer industry. It was a closer condition from the State Pollution Control Board. And I understand what are the issues were there. The major issue was unethical practices. And they got red-handed by some authority. So first important message I had given to the top management, as the director at that time, sir, first of all, we have to be very transparent. Whatever we are doing, we have to be very transparent. If we are not capable, then we have to mention that we are not capable. We need your guidance. Please guide us. So we open the door from day one for the guidance. And second point, where we are doing wrong, where we are not complying, where we are missing the link, that we are observed. I will give a little bit example. There was always a fight with the production department and environment department. But the production department have a target to achieve the production.
Okay.
And environment department curtail. I have a lot of pollution, I have a lot of load. So please reduce our production rate. So in that company, I have a very biggest fight with same batch of engineer. He was a production manager. I was an environmental manager in 96, 97. Every day fight.
Okay.
And I requested, okay, I wish you achieve your target, but simultaneously you have to think for the environment. Otherwise, there is another closer issue. So what way we decided, there is a batch process. So they have to clean the reactor. So we suggested whenever you clean the reactor, please inform us. So there is a transparency developed inside. And second thing, they use the butadiene. It's a very hazardous chemical. It can be stored in a one sphere. We can say the live bomb in Vadodara.
Okay.
So if there is a leakage happen, there may be explosion and a lot of people may be die. So every quarter they have to clean that sphere by fresh water or caustic solution. It generates a huge quantity of huge pollution, and the discharge as it is into wastewater treatment plant. So I am facing a lot of problem. My all bacteria was died, my microbes were died.
Oh.
So we
Right.
suggested you discharge in a dedicated vessel, and slowly we can use in our system. So that ethic has been developed at that time. Simultaneously, in my previous organization, there are a lot of MSMEs. They bypass. Before my joining, they took a lot of advantage. They are not reporting the correctly. They are taking a lot of advantage to discharge highly polluted, high quantity. So we pursue them for the sake of the nature, for the sake of our next generation. You
Makes
think
sense.
about it. Today you are making a profit 10 crore. I wish you make a profit 20 crore without compromising the quality.
Yes, but ethically.
You just imagine in last 12 years, I forced them to spend more than 200 crore rupees to update their system. And now today they are enjoying the fruits of my advice. So that is the major achievement of ethical environmental management for the longevity and sustainable approach. Even some of the industry also made a collaboration with the MNC. I got the message from the industry, Mr. Panchal, I am so happy. You at that time we were not like your advice, but today we are in a very safe mode. So that is the
Understood.
satisfaction level and achievement.
Yes. And it just goes to show how ethics and sustainability always go hand in hand to create a lasting impact, both on the businesses and the world around us. Mr. Panchal, looking ahead, how do you envision your future in the environmental sector? And do you have any aspirations, whether it is stepping into boardroom roles, uh, or maybe a mentorship role, guiding organizations at an advisory level? So what do you have planned for you?
Yeah, working 12 years as managing director, conducting more than 50 board meetings. I prepared the agenda myself. What are the agenda notes? And I presented to the IS officer. These are my 12 agenda or 10 agenda. He may add or remove one or two as per the time availability. So 50 board meetings I conducted with a different IS officer, 4 to 5 in my career. Number of technical committee meeting, risk committee meeting, capex meeting, NRC meeting, corporate social responsibility meeting attended or organized. Not in my company, even some of the other company as an invitee. So that helped me to play a role as a independent director is more suited. That is the one area. Second thing, my approach is only ethical. So I am not favoring here and there. What is the best for the nature? What is the best for the company? So that covers the stakeholder, not only shareholder. So that cover everyone. And mentoring, I am already given a lot of lecture to Parul University, then Navrachna University. Even I was a lecturer in MS University. Lot of students. I'm always love the students. Even some of the student I teach them, they are now working in my previous organization. So it's a win-win situation. But always I love to have a board members in some of the reputed organizations, not just like a to manage the show, because I had seen a lot of where the director is only just speak what the chairman says. So it is not like that. I want my views, my point of views,
opinions, and your
opinions,
ideas also. Yes.
So these are very important. Okay, they believe or not believe, but it has to be noted, because the role of independent director is not easy. What I am understanding, what I am referring the modules and what I attended the various webinars, it is not easy just to get the sitting fees is not the solution. To help the nation, it's a nation building exercise, I think. So independent director play a very important role as a nation building exercise. Otherwise, it's a meaningless. So I definitely prefer in a good company, considering my experience as a, okay, maybe in environment field. Every industry have an environmental concern. And in India, there is a lot of scope for environmental engineering. When I joined, when I passed out, no vacancy was, no one was no one was given the job. But today, environmental engineers gain lot of importance once they come pass out from the college, easily absorb in the industry. So maybe the society wants a good environment, good quality of life, and
Sure.
corporate citizenship.
Absolutely. And it's clear that you're not just looking at the next step in your career, but you're shaping an entire future for businesses to follow. Mr. Panchal, in today's rapidly changing business landscape, we have talked so much at large in this conversation on sustainability and responsible practices. From your experience, how important is it for businesses to integrate ESG principles into their strategies, not just as a compliance measure, but also as a driver for long term growth and to manage risks effectively?
So there's a lot of talk on ESG. Everybody is
Yes.
talking ESG, ESG, ESG.
ESG.
Even recently, I read the book of Rajesh Kesavaria on sustainability and sustainable. They
Okay.
clearly mention a lot of people are talking on ESG, but the real meaning of ESG till people are unable to understand. They say, okay, we have to fill the BRSR form and submit to SEBI and forget it. And there are a lot of agencies like PwC and Deloitte and KPMG, they fill the form and they take the charge and forget it. I am not in that opinion. Or ESG in from, because I already implemented ESG before it started.
Correct.
It started from 2018-19. After COVID, it started the peak of the moment of ESG. Or COVID period started. But 2012, we started to deal with the society. That is a S. How
Correct.
the society has impacted, how the society has reacted for the industrial activities. So that S. Second thing, the governance. What my previous organization, there was serious governance issue, lot of unethical activities. So I label E is environment, but E is ethics also.
I agree completely.
So E is ethics. So in one hand you have a full ethics, so automatically it helps us to go governance. So you govern in such a system, so balance both the E and G. Automatically society will come with you. They encourage you. So it is a integration is a must. Don't think for BSR SR. Think differently. Now, even recently, I read a report in one of the newspaper, even one of the LinkedIn profile of one of the expert, that some of the giant organizations, they are failed to measure the water footprint. Now, water footprint measurement, you need a basic data, the flow meter data. How much water you use. Once you have a correct flow meter, then and then you can measure the water footprint. Or just mention my footprint is XYZ, it doesn't serve the purpose. So I say basic of ESG is very important. That's why I have a plan to give a lecture at Institute of Engineers, the fundamentals of ESG. Only fundamentals. There is no complete detail. There are 9 parameters or something like that. Okay, that we have to do. That is a compulsory. But once you have some system in your hand, you definitely achieve all the BRSR SEBI norms. There is no issue. So integration, sustainability, and it definitely helps. My previous organization, 97 organization, petrochemical plant, they increased 4-fold. If they have a 100 metric ton capacity, now they have a 500 metric ton capacity of extrusion. They have a multinational company. At that time, they have 10 crore rupees. Today, they are making 200 crore rupees profit. And all employees are highly satisfied. Society is highly supporting. Okay, we need this industry. So ESG is not a new thing for India. And for India, we may learn from other countries, but we are so strong. Our foundation are so strong for environmental management. It doesn't require anyone to hammering us. We our own understand water consumption, air emission, hazardous waste management, like the packing waste. Now, even you just see what I did an example. At 2000, we use a 25 kg bag to pack our product. At that time, idea why we should, instead of 15, 25 kg, why we should not in a jumbo bag of 1 ton. If some client is ready to take a jumbo bag, it will reduce my plastic bag. And it was implemented in 2000. Now you calculate the footprint. It's a huge footprint. Another example, the canteen food waste. Now, generally in industry, they are given a canteen food waste to the cattle feeder. Generally, it's an observation. They are given a cattle feeder. But in one of the discussion with my colleague, he suggested why we should not think differently. And that time we put a biogas plant for canteen food waste. In 1999, today it is working. Even day before yesterday, I got the message, sir, I asked, the plant is working. I commissioned, yes, sir, it is working. So it give a 15 cylinder a month in summer season, industrial cylinder. It's a bigger capacity than the domestic cylinder. 15 kg cylinder, they generate the biogas plant, and biogas they use for the tea preparation, rice preparation.
Excellent.
They save the energy, save the natural gas, LPG.
Absolutely.
So these are some of the areas we have to go deep and deep. Solution is in our inside. So that I want to encourage the industry. Whenever there is a meeting, I always say, don't go for a high-fi. You need a complete down-to-earth solution. And it is available in our setting.
Right.
So
and it's clear. It's clear that ESG is no longer just an optional strategy. It's essential for sustainable growth, I think.
It's essential. But Indian way. Don't go for only just to fill the form and satisfy yourself. Okay, just give a report in annual report. We have comply. And reality may be different.
Correct. Absolutely.
And last example I give, the 99 2000. In one of the meeting, there was every day the meeting was organized, and that organization every 9 or 9:30 there is a meeting and discuss the various problems. So I suggested that my friend, the production head, you are generating this much quantity of wastewater. I am treating and disposing to the environment. Why you should not use that treated wastewater for reactor cleaning, floor washing, toilet flushing? You just imagine 99 2000, we had implemented 25,000 liter of water for this purpose. Until they are using, they increase the capacity from 25 to 100 meter cube nowadays. So the solution is available.
So all the projects that you started, because when you talk about environmental systems, etc., and you talked about all these waste management systems that you have started, not just in India, abroad as well, they are all still functioning and in a very sustainable manner.
Yes, very sustainable.
Excellent. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. As we near the end of the interview, Mr. Panchal, joining Directors Institute is a significant milestone. Could you share with us your experience so far with the Institute and how it has contributed to your professional growth and perspective on leadership and governance?
Yeah, very important question. As I mentioned, after working so many years, conducting so many board meetings and other things, so my good friend in Baroda, he is a company secretary. He suggested why we should not register in independent director database. So I say, how it will be helpful to me? He says, you may become an independent director, not today, maybe after some time.
In the future, whenever.
Yeah. So I registered, I got the certificate for the registration. And then I reviewed the website. They have a 49 modules are there. I completed a few modules also. And in between, I attended your managing director webinar. And he clearly explained. I was really impressed this much of vacancies are there. They need an ethical person, those who are believing in corporate governance. So I decided why I should not join. So before that, I joined with the board stewardship at Mumbai.
Okay.
They are not running any course, but they have a networking platform. So I
Understood.
attended one program at Mumbai at BSc. It was very important program. I interacted with a lot of people, and after that I attended your MD's program, and I was really encouraged. But till I was in confusion after so much of year experience, why I should join this one. But ultimately, I think in a very peaceful mind and decided, okay, learning is different thing, but some new thing I can definitely learn. So that's why I just taught to Akash, and immediately I registered with the program and say, okay. And I attended your conference on at Pune on 18th January.
Yes.
It was an amazing program. It was an amazing program. I love a lot of peoples. I interact with a lot of peoples, and I get a lot of new knowledge also. And okay, I'm not finishing entire course. I just started 5 to 6 modules. I completed because I have to manage the time. But definitely within next 2 3 months, I will definitely complete the independent director, and next 1 or 2 months ESG. So it will further strengthening my understanding.
Absolutely.
So that is an important point.
Absolutely. And we are thrilled to hear how Directors Institute has shaped your approach, Mr. Panchal. Mr. Panchal, it has truly been a privilege to have you on FaceTime with Leaders. Your perspective on the intersection of leadership, sustainability, and ethical business practices has been nothing short of enlightening. As we wrap up today's conversation, we want to sincerely thank you for joining us and for offering us such rich insights into your career, your leadership philosophy, and your future aspirations. We are confident that your journey will continue to shape industries and inspire future leaders, but also make such a difference to our environment. We look forward to following your continued success and growth. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning into this very special episode of FaceTime with Leaders. We hope today's conversation has sparked new ideas and reflections for you. As always, stay curious, stay inspired, and continue striving to lead with purpose and integrity. Until next time, take care and keep leading the way. Thank you.